Hi there, dear friends. This is Bob Hatton. This is The Encourager. And this morning I would like to read with you a few verses from Luke's Gospel, chapter 10. And we're going to begin with verse 13. So Luke 10, verse 13. And they were bringing children to him that he might touch them. And the disciples rebuked them. And when Jesus saw it, he was indignant and said to them, "Let the children come to me. Do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of God. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like a child shall not enter it." And he took them in his arms and blessed them, and laying his hands on them. I think that's a wonderful passage. It's something beautiful. We see Jesus in action. The people are bringing children to him because they want him to touch them. Now, the disciples, I think they're a little bit protective of Jesus. He's been working very hard. He's been ministering to many people. He is probably tired, and they're trying to be protective. They're trying to give him some room for himself and room to just relax. But he's got a priority on his heart, and this priority are for these small people, for these children. And he says, he's indignant. When he finds out they're stopping the children coming to him, he's indignant. And you know, even today, if we try to stop the children coming to Jesus, if we don't make room for children in the things that we're doing connected to the kingdom of God, I think Jesus is quite indignant about that, because he looks at them and he gives them some importance. These people are important in the kingdom of God. And he even says, if we don't become like the children, we're in danger of losing the children of we're in danger of losing the kingdom of God. Now, we have these two words. We have childish and childlike. And Jesus is not telling us to become childish, but he is telling us to become childlike. There's something about a child that is very simple, or the simplicity about a child. A child's not very complicated. He doesn't have to think all and process all kind of things, analyze everything that's being said. And especially if Jesus has said something, then a kid will just believe it. He'd just take it for what it is. He'd take it for what Jesus said as being true. And I think that's a very good attribute for us. If we could just accept that what Jesus says to us, that would be very, 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 very good. And I think another thing that I find with children is that when they're together with other kids, they sometimes very easily get upset and start fighting and are annoyed with one another. But on the other hand, just a few minutes later, they're at peace again. They've been reconciled, and they're very fast to forgive. And that's also something that Christians should be very, very good at. Somebody said that Christians should be experts as far as forgiveness is concerned, experts in reconciliation, in coming back together, and in keeping good relationships with one another. And I think probably the thing that impresses me the most about this story is that right at the end, Jesus takes them into his arms and he blesses them. And as we come with this childlike faith, with this childlike attitude, and we get an embrace from Jesus. Jesus puts his arms around us. Jesus wants us to be close to him. And the thing is that we've got to surrender all our performance, all our hard working and trying to earn God's blessing, and realize that we belong to the family. He tells us, Paul tells us in Romans 8, that we've not received a spirit of servanthood or a spirit of slavery so that we fear again, but we have actually received a spirit of sonship. That includes daughtership as well. So we are sons and daughters of the living God. We belong to his family. In John 15, Jesus says to his disciples, he says, "I'm not calling you my servants anymore. You are my friends. You are my mates." Because, the servant doesn't know what his master is going to do. But I have told you guys everything that the Father has put on my heart. I've just shared my heart with you. And that's something wonderful. We can belong to the kingdom of God. We can belong to the family of God. We can have this relationship, Father, Son, with the Father in heaven. We are friends of Jesus. We are people who Jesus shares his heart with. So come on, be like a childlike simplicity. Come into his presence and pick up your embrace and your blessing from him. God bless you. Have a really, really good day today, and see you again. You're Bob Hatton, your encourager.